Listen, following football costs enough money already, so don't let your mobile bill mug you off. Rocket Mobile gives you unlimited everything for £16 a month. No nonsense. Powered by Vodafone and Free, plus exclusive content and prizes when you switch on over. Scan the QR code or click the link and put that cash back into football.
I'm here with Christian Tai, and he's giving me that look. This could be interesting. So, Arsenal win at home 2-1 against Wolves. Now, we won, which was what we expected. However, it has to be said that the performance today was, I would argue, probably our worst of the season. And some might argue we were lucky to beat them, Christian. I'm just going to say that because I'm looking online. People are messaging me. They got booed off at half-time, apparently. Or, sections of the crowd were booing. Wasn't a good game today. Why do you think that was?
We can get into why that was, but I agree with what you were saying. Wasn't a great performance. Arguably our worst performance of the season. But, and I will start with this, 3 points is 3 points. There are going to be games like this. I remember I've spoken to my dad about, old Arsenal teams that were winning leagues, the Invincibles. They were poor games in those seasons. Man City Centurions, Man City treble, United treble. There were bad games. You have bad games in the season. It's not going to be all beating Bayern Munich. It's not going to be all scoring 4 against Tottenham, 5-0 against Leeds. It's not going to be all 4-0 against Atletico. Sometimes you have bad performances. You have off days, whether it comes from, to answer the question now, whether it comes from fatigue, players being off it, Saliba coming back into the team, mixing up what has been going on the last few weeks. Saka obviously didn't start midweek. Maybe he's come in, he was not. Whatever it is, I don't know.
Do you think that there was an element of complacency about it? I mentioned that to Stossin. The reason why I say that is because, let's be honest, as Arsenal fans, we were all predicting 3s, 4s. Some people were even going further than that. We all said Wolves are a terrible team. No games won this season, just 2 points. On course to break the record as statistically the worst team ever in the history of the Premier League. Do you think that some of the players, I'm not saying all of them, might have took the pitch today thinking that this is going to be easy, and then all of a sudden it wasn't as easy as they thought, and then things didn't go right? Or do you think it's
I don't know.
Something else?
I didn't really see players that weren't trying or expected to win. I think everyone was trying.
I didn't say not. Sometimes the way complacency can work is that you expect certain things to come easier, and then they don't, and then all of a sudden you're stuck in a bit of a rut. You can't get out of it. I don't think it's a thing about not trying. I just think maybe you're a bit too relaxed. You're not on edge the way you would be if you were playing a team that you think present a sterner challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they took their foot off the pedal just that little bit.
I get what you're saying. I don't know. I'd expect Arteta got them up for it. I'd expect before the game his message was, this isn't a given 3 points. You still have to go out there and earn it. They're going to obviously set up. We saw they were set up in a 7 at the back and 3 right in front. So,
but we expected that, though, right? I mean,
did.
No one expected Wolves to come and engage Arsenal high up the pitch. We all knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, and they had chances in the first half as well. If it wasn't for David Raya making a good save from their striker, it could have been a different story in that first half. So, look, I'm not going to go in on this team, right? First of all, we've won the game. So there is no reason to go in this team. It was a poor performance. I reckon if you asked any of those players, they would agree it wasn't a great performance. The manager, every fan in that stadium, but we've won the game. We've got 3 points. I'll say it again, there are going to be games like this. It's not all going to be scoring 3 against Bayern and 4 against. It's not going to be that. Yeah, you can see today some of those players look tired. Some of those players need a rest. They need a week off. We've been playing Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, every single week for the past how long? Right? Now we've got a week off to Everton. Now we can actually rest. Now we can chill out a little bit. We've got the win. They were 5 points clear. We're top of the table. It doesn't have to be catastrophe. I know people are going to go in. I know it. Right? This is Arsenal. A bad performance and we win, and people will lose their heads. People will melt down. This team is top of the league. This team's top of the Champions League. Won 6 out of 6. We've only lost 2 games in the Prem this season, and those games, fine margins against Liverpool. Quality free kick, and a last-minute winner at Aston Villa with our centre-backs missing. So I understand why people will criticise. I understand what people are going to say. It was poor. It took 2 own goals to beat Leeds. It shouldn't be in that situation.
Wolves.
What did I say?
You said Leeds.
To beat Wolves, sorry. We shouldn't be in that situation, but we've still won the game. It's still 3 points. We're 5 points clear. City play tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I would also say on that, like I said to somebody else, I think when we played Villa, you could argue that it was unfortunate to lose that game with the last kick. Today, we could have got slightly fortunate to get a goal to win. Let's talk about Victor Gyökeres, because coming into this game, there was a lot of focus on him. People were saying this is the game where he needs to show. Now, do you think he did that?
Not particularly. But then I don't know which attacking player did. I don't think Saka was particularly on it in the first half. Put a few good balls into the box. One on his right foot that went across. Maybe you could argue Gyökeres should have been there. But Martinelli also wasn't on the left-hand side. Martinelli wasn't in the game at all. I think Gyökeres in the second half improved, held the ball up well a couple of times, brought other players into play. There's a nice bit where he turned, won a foul on the edge of the box. Had a good chance where he held it up, got onto his left foot, went just wide. So I don't think this needs to be a game where we just single him out and just say, oh, he wasn't the problem today. You know, you could talk about the midfield. Eze wasn't in the game in the first half. I don't know whether that's on him or that's on Arteta, because he was too deep. Those positions where you want a 10, in and around the box, on the edge of the box, where he was against Spurs when he scored a hat-trick, no one was in that position. He was so deep. You don't want Eze getting the ball there. He's not that kind of guy. You want him in and around the box, give him the ball, take a touch, open your body up, hit it. He wasn't in those positions. Like I said, whether that's on him or Arteta or the system, I don't know. But he wasn't in the game. Declan Rice was poor in that first half. I thought he improved in the second half. Was actually driving us forward. One of our better players in the second half. So to single out Gyökeres for me this isn't the game for it. They set up with 7 at the back. It was always going to be tough. And then Marino came on. Again, didn't really offer too much in midfield. Jesus came on. You could argue Jesus came on, maybe offered a bit more, held the ball up well. We thought he got the winner, but it turns out to be an own goal.
Well, what I noticed about Jay, he injected a bit of energy into the front line, because prior to that, it just looked a bit flat. So yeah, it wasn't a great day for Gyökeres. But then, like you said, Christian, it wasn't a great for the vast majority of the players today. So projecting forward then, we got out of town with a win, which is great. 3 points, like you said.
Wow, got out of town. Out of town with a win.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Yeah,
of course it does.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
We're sitting over there on that sofa after 92 minutes, looking at the scoreboard saying 1-1.
Yeah.
We've all predicted 4-0, 3. Did you say 4?
I said 3-0.
3-0. I've heard
and I thought I was being conservative when I said that.
We were. I looked on, there's a platform that I'm on. I looked at you can see the Wolves fans' predictions. Their average prediction. Guess what the Wolves' average fan prediction was?
2-0.
5-0.
Wow.
To Arsenal. Arsenal fans' average prediction was 4-0. Everyone thought
you know when you say that, I cannot help but think that kind of reflected on the players, you know.
Potentially.
Because, you know what I mean, their own fans predicting 5-0.
Yeah.
I said 3-0, being conservative. You said what?
I said 4.
Exactly.
Especially when I saw that team sheet, it was stronger than I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't know Saliba would play. I thought Norgard might start in the middle. I thought, I just didn't think it would be that strong. I thought Madueke might start because he scored 2 goals midweek. Didn't even come on. So, yeah, sometimes, like you say, you get out of town, get out of jail, whatever it is.
Yeah. Get out of there with the points, and then we move forward.
3 points against Wolves, they scored 2 own goals. It is what it is. I know people are going to go in, Laurie. There's going to be a mini meltdown.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you expect
3
that from
points.
fans. I mean, apparently there was booze at half-time. I know you're a bit upset about that.
I don't know about that, man. What I'll say on that
I can understand. Listen.
I can't.
I can, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm not saying fans should boo. I'm saying I can understand why because the performance in that first half was so poor.
Yeah.
If you're a fan in the ground, there's only one way to let the players know that that's not acceptable, and that is to express it by booing.
But they weren't losing the game. It was 0-0 at half-time in a game you still expect to go on and win. The reason I can't accept that, unless I see a video where it's clear that there's like heavy boos at half-time.
No, I didn't say heavy.
But this is the thing.
What I heard was sections of the crowd voice their displeasure.
But there's a difference between boos and a few like moans and groans of not being happy. I started going to the Emirates when I was 12 years old, right? Sitting by myself as a junior gunner. I've seen worse performances than that. I've seen us be 2-3-0 down at half-time and the fans still get behind the team, still cheer, still... Do you know what I mean? Arsenal at the Emirates aren't really a crowd that
I've
boo
seen it
their
the odd
players.
time. I can remember.
Granit Xhaka, I can remember coming off and there was boos. I can't remember other performances. I've seen so much worse.
Well, I can remember being at a Champions League game and we were a couple of goals down at half-time and there were sections of the crowd booing, so much so that some of the fans started fighting with each other. That's how bad it was. But it's very rare. But what I'm saying
Especially
is...
this team.
Exactly,
top of the league.
exactly. They don't deserve it based on the season they've had.
Nowhere near.
What I'm saying, though, is... You know how it goes these days. Fans, they turn up, they expect to see performances. If you get a performance like we saw in the first half today, I can understand some people expressing it but I'm not saying I would have done that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I can understand why they might have felt why they should do that. But anyway, that's redundant now. We got the win. I want to ask you about next week. How do you think the manager will approach that game? Do you think he'll make changes? I mean, you hinted at it. You said that it seems like there's some tiredness. You spoke about Zubimendi possibly being tired and not having played well now for a few games. Do you think you'll make some changes?
Well, that was you. I think Zubimendi. I don't think Zubimendi's been the problem at all. I
didn't say it's a problem.
Right.
I didn't say it's a problem.
I think he was very good against Bruges.
To be fair, I didn't say it's a problem. I said that it's been a few weeks since he's was at the levels he was at previously.
I think Zubimendi's been fine.
Okay.
I don't think our number 6 has been the problem. I think today, creatively going forward, that was where the problem was. And whether that's getting Odegaard in the team next week and Eze has to be on the bench.
But do you think Odegaard played well today?
I came on. I don't think he was bad. I think he injected a bit more energy. I think Trossard will definitely start next week because Martinelli in the Champions League and Martinelli in the Premier League is like two different players. Yeah. It's like he turns up in the Champions League. First Arsenal player ever to score 5 games in a row in the Champions League. Like, where is that in the Prem? Where was he today? I know it's tough when you're playing against a low block and he's a player that likes to run in behind into space, but come on, man, show us something. The header he had in the first half is essentially an open goal and he just heads it back across. Well,
there was an
wide.
even clearer moment than that when he got the ball on the wing, he beat the player for pace, done him, he's through, you're thinking, right. And he put it wide, he wasn't even on target.
So yeah, we'll change up a little bit. I think Trossard will come back in. I'm glad Saliba's back. Very glad Saliba's back because we missed him. It means Timber can go back to right back. Ben White, obviously, it's not nice to see. You've seen him injured again.
Do you persist with Gyökeres? Some people are saying Marino or Jesus. What do you reckon?
I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. It wouldn't surprise me if Marino or Jesus started up front against Everton. So that's up to Mikel. Whatever he believes, I'd understand if you dropped him, and I'd understand if you started him.
It'll be interesting because he did back Gyökeres before the game. He was pretty much saying to some of the critics, look, get off his back. So be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, an interesting day. I mean, what can you say, man? I mean, I guess the positives are we got the 3 points, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of fallout from this game. But Christian, thank you, mate. Cheers.